A popular technique for multiplying two binomials. This used to be called FOIL. Some teachers have decided they don't like that. And lots of teachers have found success with this box method. First of all, it's more visual. And second of all, it's consistent with the way multiplication is being taught down in the elementary schools. Multiplication is being taught by the array model, right down in the younger grades, like third grade. So that's why many teachers opt to show multiplying two binomials in this way. So if you got really good at this, you understand that the first terms in the binomial have to multiply together to give you what's in the first box. Okay, then we do, to get that middle term, we end up having to add what's in these two boxes, right? So these two boxes get added and this makes our middle term. And then finally, we're left with, the numbers on the end have to multiply to give us that. And we get 2x squared minus 3x minus 35. What we're going to do then is use this model, which is really, though, we're going to still be doing the AC method. Okay, AC method is my favorite method for factoring quadratics. And this is just a slightly different look to the AC model. So let's say we were trying to factor the quadratic 3x squared minus 2x minus 8, okay? So you need to put a 3x squared here, and you know that something times something has to equal 3x squared, okay? And then you put the negative 8 here, and you notice at the end, I'm probably gonna have something like a 4 and a 2 or a 1 and an 8, okay? But to get that middle term, okay, what we do to get that middle term is we multiply this way. Okay, this way we multiply, and what we multiply to get this way has to add up to give us the other direction. Okay, so let's look at all the factors of 24. So 1 and 24, I always go in order. 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and then I'm looking to see, well, which ones would give me negative 2? Okay, and I hope it's not too hard to see that, the negative 6 here. And it makes no difference whether I put the 4x here or the negative 6x here. These two things have to add up to give us our middle term. Okay, we knew that because we were really good at doing this over here, right? Those always gave us our middle term. The product here gave us that, the product here gave us that. So what we do when we have this box is then we factor going this way, right? What would we factor out of each of these going across the top row? And you could factor out a 3x, and then you'd have to have an x here, right? Because you'd have to multiply 3x by x to get 3x squared. Okay, and then let's factor out this way. 4 would come out, right? Well, 4 times x, that works. Then you'd have to have a negative 2 up here, because 4 times negative 2 would give you the negative 8. All right, and so then there's your two factors. Okay, so this really is the AC method with just a different look to it, okay? And those of you that are more visual, you might prefer this, right, to the factor by grouping model. All right, so let's do another one. Okay, so I always put that first term here, 10x squared, and my last term here. Okay, and I hope that you'll pause the video at certain points instead of just waiting for me to do everything. Pause the video at certain points and think, what do I do next? Okay, so what you do next is you multiply this way, and then what we find that multiplies is going to have to add to give us those boxes. Okay, so I get 30. Go in order as I list the factors, and I'm looking for positive 11. 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 4 doesn't go in, 5 and 6, there it is, positive 11. Okay, so I could put the 5x here and the 6x here. All right, then when I go to factor out, and why do I feel like something's wrong? Let me look at my paper. I feel like something's wrong. If I go across here, let's see, the only thing that's factoring out here is a 1. Okay, which that's okay. When I go to factor out across the top here, I could factor out a 2x. Okay, and then I need to be smart enough to know, okay, if this is a 2x, what had to go here? Right? I have to be comfortable enough with having multiplied out this way many, many times to know that this times this has to give me 10x, and that gives me the 5x. So the 1 is right. I don't know, it felt awkward to me, but being able to only factor a 1 out in this direction, right? Because 5x times 1 is 5x. And then we would also have to notice, well, then what has to go here? Right? What would give me a 3 here? That would have to be a 3. And then 3 times 2x, of course, does give me the 6x. Okay, so again, there's my factors. 5x plus 1. I'm sorry, 5x plus 3, 2x plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to put up another one that I want you to try pausing the video. Try this entirely on your own. And I'm going to write the answer to this first, so that if you get the answer right, you can just stop and be done. And if you still need instruction, then I'll go over it with you. Okay, so using this box method, please try factoring 5x squared plus 17x minus 12. Okay, so pause the video, factor that. Okay, if you're back, check your answer. If your answer checks out, you're done. Okay, so stop the video, and that should tell you you've got a decent handle on this. Otherwise, let me go over this with you. So put the 5x here, 5x squared here, and the negative 12 here. And again, we multiply this way, and we add that way. Okay, so when I multiply this way, I get negative 60. So 60's got a lot of factors here. 2 and 30, and I need to get positive 17, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, right? Gives me 60, 5 and 12. I bet you are tempted to take 5 and 12, right? To get 17. What we have to be careful of, though, is we need negative 12, right? Which means one factor has to be positive and one's negative. This would only work if both were positive. Okay, so it's tempting here, but the one we actually need is this one. Okay, so put the 3x here, positive 3x. I'm sorry, I put the negative sign in the wrong spot, right? I want positive 17, so negative 3x, positive 20x. Okay, then I factor from here, factor from here. Okay, so 4x comes out, 5x, sorry, 5x comes out. Over here, negative 3 comes out. And what would have to go here? We should recognize that would have to have been an x. And what would have to go here to give me negative 12 to multiply with negative 3? That would have had to have been a positive 4. Okay, and so there we are, our final answer here. All right, so thanks for watching. And I hope this is a helpful way for you to factor successfully in this course.